If I don't make you a little bit uncomfortable in this lecture, then I failed as a lecturer. And if I don't heed my own advice and make myself a little bit uncomfortable, then I failed as a Muslim, to be honest with you. The worst type of situation that you can be in is when you're actually being betrayed by a good quality that you possess. Meaning what? Every time you think about improvement, you merely think about a good quality that you already have and simply embellishing that good quality further. I'll give you an example. Parent tells a child, I need you to do this chore by 8 o'clock. Child comes back, doesn't do the chore, says, Mom, I bought you flowers. All right, great, can you go do the dishes now? I cut the grass. Okay, but can you go do the dishes? I vacuumed the living room. What's happening here? There's a disconnect between what you're supposed to be doing and something that you might be doing that might be good. It is good, but you were told to do something very specific and you're not doing it. Now that can become a fundamental and fatal flaw. With our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is a form of ghurur, deception, delusion. Alhamdulillah, you pray qiyamul layl. It's amazing if you're praying sunnahs as well. That's amazing if you're fasting more than Ramadan. But Allah's not going to ask you on the Day of Judgment, why didn't you fast Mondays and Thursdays? Why didn't you pray at night? You might be developing an arrogance in the process of that. Self-righteousness, looking down upon the quote-unquote sinners. You've got the same haram and halal as everybody else. You give enough charity, not to the extent that someone needs it, but to the extent that you need to feel good. I'm saying if you only do it to the point that it makes you feel good, not to the point that the other person needs, this is what religion is becoming in the 21st century. You're able to come to peace with the existence of disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you justify it by saying to yourself, but I do all these other good things, I think I'm okay on the Day of Judgment. Yeah, but if you don't address that other stuff, you've got a hole in your bucket, and the water is coming through. And the Prophet ﷺ said, أَتَدْرُونَ مِنَ الْمُفْلِسِ, do you know who the bankrupt person is? The bankrupt person is the person who comes with all of their prayer, all of their sadaqah, all of their fasting, but at the same time, curse this person out, foul-mouthed with this person, backbited this person, abused this person, and all they find on the Day of Judgment is they basically have their salah, their siyam, their sadaqah taken away from them and given to someone else. We're coming to a time where people are just not going to tell you what you need to hear anymore, because people are not going to want to offend your sensitivities. We're living in a time where algorithms are catered towards what you like to hear and what you like to see, not what's going to challenge you to be better. Everything around you is becoming more intelligent at satisfying you in your delusion. What's halal and haram for every Muslim? And if I'm falling short somewhere there, even if I'm not yet there, but I'm going to acknowledge it and I'm going to be uncomfortable with that discrepancy, and I'm going to try to make progress towards settling that discrepancy in my life. Qiyamul layl, the night prayer. Even if it's 15, 30 minutes, even if it's 2 rak'ahs, Qiyam has a way of infusing goodness because it makes you more focused on the sight of Allah. It makes you more introspective. It makes you more reflective. Reading the Quran is one of those as well, right? So finding those acts of worship in the voluntary sense that push you towards a softer heart and a greater zeal in trying to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a religion that is meant to transform every single facet of your life. If you have a Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam who taught you that there's a connection between your dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with your tongue and your heart and the foot that you're going to step into the restroom with, then certainly the sunnah transforms and connects and aligns everything from how you act in the masjid to how you act in your most private room in your home. If you address those things, that's where you'll find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will unlock a particular brilliance for you. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman and Ali, may Allah be pleased with them. Khadija, Aisha, may Allah be pleased with them. They didn't excel in the same ways. So you don't necessarily look at another person and say, that's how I'm going to be a good Muslim. Excel in the qualities that come easy to you, the deeds that come easy to you, without betraying those qualities with flaws that you ignore. So you're not envying man, I want to be a speaker. I want to have TikToks going viral. No, none of that. They're envying the benefits and saying, I want to benefit people like that. I want to be a guide for people towards khair, towards good. So we all have this zeal to want to compete, and that makes us all better. And so being a more wholesome Muslim means being a more wholesome community, and it means looking at the best examples around you to inspire you, not the worst examples around you to make you complacent, or even worse, condescending and judgmental.